Hi, I'm Danica Tormohlen, reporting for TSNN Trade Show News Network, and we are in Washington, D.C. for Legislative Action Day with Tommy Goodwin. Hi, Tommy.
Danica, how are you?
Great. I'm so happy to be here, and I'm glad it's not raining for today.
We are thrilled to have you, and I think we're just as thrilled for it to be a 75-degree day with no rain. We'll take it here in DC.
So, set the stage for us. How many people are here today to participate?
Amazing. We've got 170 people from 30 states. It is the largest group that come to Legislative Action Day ever, and we're excited to have all of them up on Capitol Hill.
How many meetings are set up today?
Got about 120 meetings today, so it covers like almost 1/4 of Congress. It is really impressive. So not only do we have a lot of people, but they're from all over the country. So we're getting to talk to folks where trade shows are part of the DNA, like Nevada and Florida. We also have folks from other states around the country where it's an opportunity for our folks who are with us today to introduce the industry.
Do you know how many first timers are here?
We have more than 50% first timers. So we have almost 90 first timers here today, which is amazing. And we love having them because they bring such energy and such a new perspective that allows policymakers to hear firsthand what's going on.
Are there going to be meetings with all 50 states?
We don't have meetings with all 50 states. That's the goal for next year. We
Okay.
want somebody from everywhere because this industry operates nationwide.
Let's give some top line numbers that are going to be presented today. Total economic impact of the industry.
Total economic impact of the industry this year is projected to be $426 billion with a B dollars, which is just amazing.
Do you also track number of employees, right?
Number of employees.
Yeah.
So we've got 2.6 million employed by the industry and all the supporting industries nationwide. So we have nearly 1 out of every 100 people in America is employed in our industry, which is remarkable.
That is remarkable. I just wanted to set the stage with some of these really great numbers that you have. Congratulations. I know you put a lot of hard work into it today. We just had an introduction into what the day is going to be. So let's talk about the 3 T's that all of these people are going to be addressing with their senators.
Yeah, so we're talking about the 3 T's of Washington, D.C. that are really impacting the industry right now and will probably be impacting the industry going forward. It's taxes, it's talent, and it's tariffs. So some areas where we're really looking to get the government involved on tax policy, on helping us attract and train our future workforce on the talent side, some places where we really want to see the government play a leadership role. Now, there are some also issues like tariffs where the government's playing maybe a little bit too much of a leadership role for our tastes and preferences, and we want to be able to talk to Congress and the impact and how the uncertainty has really impacted not only the industry, but our exhibitors, our attendees, and folks who are coming from overseas.
And tell us where we're at right now today. Obviously, last night a few things happened. So give us some insight, at least today.
So everything in Washington, D.C. moves fast and furious these days. Last week, we had some legislation passed by the House of Representatives that has all of our tax reform and all of our workforce development priorities. It's amazing. It expands the Pell Grant program for skilled workforce. It lets 529 plans pay for certifications like IEE and IEVM offer. And it's got a bunch of different tax provisions that importantly don't come looking at areas that are important to the industry to help pay for tax cuts. So all of that is wonderful news. We're pushing that in the Senate now, and we want that done by the end of the year. On the tariff side, it's up and down day by day. Last night, a court ruled that some of the tariffs that President Trump introduced under some emergency powers weren't valid because there was no emergency appropriate for it. So the tariffs on our trading partners, the reciprocal tariffs, the 10% baseline tariffs, the tariffs on Canada and China and Mexico, all are frozen as of right now. So you never know. By the time you're listening to this podcast, it might look a little bit differently. That's what DC is like these days. And that's why it's so important that ECA is here. And it's why it's so important that everybody here in the industry is here today talking to policymakers, because what happens here has an outsized impact on all of us, right?
And do you have representation here from all of the industry groups that fund and help support ECA?
All of ECA's alliance partners, all of the wonderful associations are represented here today, which is fantastic. You know, one of the great things about ECA, it's not just a CISO thing. It's not just an IE thing or a PCMA thing. It's all of us together. And everybody's here today. Everybody brought folks. And it's great when everybody hears from the industry, all the different aspects of it, but with one voice. And that's what today is all about.
For people who are not here today, who are not lucky enough to be here, run through what the day is like for most of the attendees so that if anybody's interested in coming next year, what should they expect?
If you haven't come to Legislative Action Day before, this is your welcome. This is your invitation. We want you to be here next year because it's wonderful when folks from across the industry and all of the Trade Show Talk listeners are able to come and share their experiences as policymakers. What we do is we get together on Legislative Action Day every morning. We talk about the issues, the taxes, talent, and tariffs this year. Next year, it might be different. And we give folks an opportunity to break up into state groups. And folks travel around Capitol Hill with their state teams all day long. And so if you're from Nevada, you've got a Nevada group. If you're New York, there's a New York group. And from, say, 10 a.m. to 4 p.m. throughout the day, we have different meetings scheduled for you. So you go meet your representative's office, you go meet your senator's office, and talk about the issues that matter to you and talk about the issues that matter to the industry. And then we get back together at the end of the day. It gives us an opportunity to say thank you to everyone. And we have a wonderful networking reception at this legendary Capitol Hill watering hole where a whole lot of laws and regulations have been written in the booths and at the bar. So it's a unique little piece of Capitol Hill lore that we get to have people be a part of. So it's a lot of serious advocacy, a lot of serious conversations, but a lot of opportunity for people to have fun.
Networking for sure. But then at the same time, I also want to highlight you make it so easy through the app. There's an app that people download. You give them a folder with one-sheeters on economic impact and talking points, etc.
If you're coming to Legislative Action Day and you're spending your time and your hard-earned to be with us, we really want to make it as easy as possible for you. Because if you've never done it before, it might seem awkward talking to somebody that maybe you've seen on TV before or somebody that you voted for, maybe voted against, right? It's a little bit different than your standard business meeting. And so we want everybody to feel as comfortable as humanly possible when they come here so that when they do that first meeting, they're like, oh yeah, I've got this. And so we give you all the background on the issues. We let you connect with folks in your state. We pair you up with folks who've done it before. And we really do try to make it easy for you. So if you haven't done it before, if you've seen it and I don't know if that's for me, please come and join us next year. We promise we'll give you a great experience and you'll be really helping shape the future of the industry.
One of the things that I've found participating in the past before is like sharing stories, right? Like the impact of the tax reform on your business, your trade show, etc.
I'm here 24/7, 365 in DC. I'm here to give the statistics and the numbers, and they hear from me all the time. What I'm not is I'm not on the show. I'm not an organizer. I'm not an experiential designer. I know it at a high level. But the folks who come here for Legislative Action Day, they've got the dirt under the skin. They know where the challenges are. They know where there are opportunities for government to help. So yeah, we arm them with statistics, we arm them with some data points, but it's really about sharing your story. And everybody in this industry has a story. Everybody in this industry does great work. And we just want to provide the platform for you to be able to tell that to a new audience. Oftentimes they talk to you, they see their work in TSNN and on the Trade Show Talk podcast. This is just a different outlet. And this outlet, however, has the opportunity to impact our industry positively or negatively, depending on what happens in the political environment. So we want people to be able to come and talk and tell their stories because that's what really breaks through.
Exactly. Those stories from constituents in their districts who are voting them into office.
Everybody who comes to Legislative Action Day and walks in a congressional office, you're that person's boss. You determine every 2 or 6 years whether they stay employed or whether they get replaced by somebody else. You know, what I say is one thing. When you as a voter or as a business owner or as an employer in a state or district just hits differently. And so that's why it's so great to have so many people here today.
Yeah. Thank you so much, Tommy, for giving us a quick overview of the day. And we're going to be checking in with participants all day long and hearing about their experience. So we're thrilled to be here with TSNN.
It's wonderful to have you here. Thank you for being here. Thank you for being such an amazing partner to ECA and lending us your platform to get the industry's advocacy message out. Couldn't do it without you. And we're so glad you're here in Washington, D.C.
For TSNN, I'm Danica Tormohlen.